one more time welcome him to Turkey. I believe this historic visit will be a new turning point in Turkey-Israel relations. Our common goal is to act in line with our common interests on the basis of respect to mutual sensitivities and also revitalize political relations to further improve Turkey-Israel relations and also further strengthen those relations will be, of course, of great importance for regional peace and also stability. For peace, stability, and also coexistence culture to prevail yet again in our region is possible, and it's in our capacity. Bilateral relations and regional dialogue can further be improved, and with this, it will be easier to address two issues where we have differences of opinion. Starting with economic and trade relations, we should, in particular, be materializing our relations with further momentum. Our trade relations improved by 36% and came to a figure of $8.5 billion. With our common actions, we believe that we will be increasing that figure to $10 billion in 2022 and in the following years. In the projects related with energy, we are prepared. We are ready for cooperation, as I expressed to the President. Turkey has the experience and also the capacity to materialize such projects. Recently, the developments unfolding in our region show one more time the importance of energy security. Tourism, science, advanced technologies, agriculture, health, and defense industry-like areas are the areas where we have significant opportunities of cooperation. The Assembly of Turkish Exporters has organized an event and had a constructive contact in Israel on March 8 and 9. And we will be further improving our relations and our cooperation with similar events. And of course, during our talks, naturally, we talked about the Palestinian issue. With Mr. Herzog, we shared opinions, our approach, and very frankly, our sensitivities to de-escalate the tension in the region and also to protect the two-state solution in the region is what we have been attaching importance to, as we have been expressing. The religious identity of Al-Aqsa and protection of its holiness has been reiterated one more time during our talks. We also addressed the importance of the need for improvement of the living conditions of Palestinians. TICA and Turkish Red Crescent-like organizations which have been exerting efforts for the Palestinians. We expressed and reiterated, in particular, the support to come from Israel. We also, one more time, reiterated that anti-Semitism is a humanitarian crime. Turks and the Jewish people for centuries coexist for centuries and gave us great examples in this regard. We will not allow anyone to cast a shadow on this unique ability. With coronavirus pandemic, we have been observing that hatred crimes are on the rise in the world. Anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, and racism are some of those. And against all these, we will continue with our principled and determined stance. During our talks, we also addressed many issues, primarily Ukraine and Eastern Black Sea, and we have exchanged opinions as regards regional and global matters. The forthcoming periods will be bringing about new opportunities as regards our bilateral cooperation and also regional relations and matters. The minister will be paying a visit right after this to Palestine and Israel, and our Minister of Energy and Natural Resources will be paying a visit to Israel, and I attach a great importance to those visits. As regards energy, the cooperation process initiated by Turkey before will hopefully be brought back to life with this opportunity, I think. Right now, we have 4 drilling ships. The 4th one is on its way for delivery, and we have 2 seismic exploration vessels in the Black Sea and as well in the Mediterranean. We, by way of planning our possible cooperation, we can materialize many cooperation projects. I believe that this visit will be auspicious for both parties, a visit planned before. I would like to one more time thank to Mr. President and his delegation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. First of all, His Excellency Mr. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, we are very pleased to be as your guest together with my wife in Turkey. First of all, thank you very much for this official invitation, and I also would like to thank you for this efficient and fruitful meeting that we have just had. So I would like to thank you for this dialogue that you have initiated after I came to office. This is a very meaningful moment in our bilateral relations. This is a privilege for both of us, and our target, our aim, is to strengthen the friendly relations between our nations and our states. The relations between our nations and our people is very old, and it has very important cultural, historical and religious bones. Many Jewish men, women, wise men, tradesmen and entrepreneurs, this list of many people is just a single fragment of the history of the Jewish people in these lands. His Excellency Mr. President, unfortunately, our relations in the recent years have worsened to a certain extent, but I also do believe that the relations between our countries will be reshaped again, and we will be overcoming the regional and the global challenges thanks to the easing and improving relations between our states and our countries. Israel is opting for a collaboration and cooperation in this region, which can really mark an improvement in the region. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey will pay an official visit to Israel, and he will have contact with its counterpart, and the dialogue that you have mentioned, thanks to this visit, will be sustainable, hopefully, and we have to reflect this improving dialogue in all aspects of our lives. His Excellency Mr. President, one of the contemporary poets of the Turkey, Nazım Hikmet, has poems regarding to life, and in his poem regarding to life. Nazim Hikmet says, you should take living seriously, so you should plant the olive trees at the age of 70. And you shouldn't plant this tree for the sake of leaving it to your children, but you should plant this olive tree because you continue living, although you are afraid of dying. So, His Excellency, Mr. President, we are choosing for a more meaningful life, just like the poet says. Our differences will not be eradicated on their own, but as two people, as two nations, we will embark on a journey of mutual trust and mutual respect. So we are choosing to look forward together. It is obvious that we will have differences, but we should come to terms that we might have differences. So, in such kind of a relation, which has a very rich historical ties, having differences, of course, will be natural, but hopefully we will try our best to solve our differences for a common future. Your nation and my nation, we are the sons and daughters of the Abraham who believes in God. As you know, I have had the chance of coming together with the leaders of the region, and I certainly believe that we actually confirm one thing that everyone believes in: good neighborhood and good relations matter for both of us. The believers of all the religions, the Muslims, the Jewish people, and the Christians, hopefully will live in peace in this region, and we must live in peace. In order to establish stability, safety, security, and peace in the region, I hope we will work together. His Excellency, Mr. President, our government has always stood for the freedom of belief. In the recent weeks, we have once again observed how bad a war is. And we once again came to our senses that it is really important to establish friendship and alliances between nations and people. As you can see, the war going on in Ukraine leads to bloodshed. It is a humanitarian disaster. His Excellency, Mr. President, I also would like to appreciate your great endeavor and effort for the summit, which will be taking place tomorrow in your country. These days, we would like to convey this message to the whole globe that we are choosing a different orientation in our relations. I would like to specifically thank you. And I pray for God that God will be with us, and hopefully He will guide us in our new way forward.
All right, you've been watching this momentous visit between the President of Israel and the Turkish President. This is the first visit to Turkey of an Israeli head of state in 15 years. Let's go to Hassan Abdullah now, our diplomatic correspondent who is in the Turkish capital. You really got a sense, Hassan, of the significance of this, just the fact that this is happening after such a long time. In fact, the Israeli President, Herzog, really got poetic at the end. It turned quite emotional.